Hello and welcome to this edition of the Boston BioLife Innovation Series. And today we're going to be discussing functional medicine for the veterinary market. And we have the pleasure of meeting with Dr. Marlene Siegel. She is the owner of Pasco Veterinary Medicine, and she's a passionate advocate for the role of functional medicine in the veterinary space. She's a leader and innovator. She lectures all over the world. And we're very pleased to have her as one of the keynote speakers in this course that we have, which is June 14th from 12 to 5 on the Boston BioLife platform. So Dr. Siegel, thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this. I think we're creating a revolution here, and I know you have a lot of ideas about the evolution and the development of functional medicine in the veterinary space. So perhaps you could let us know a little bit about that.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for sharing the passion and really making change in the world that is so needed. We're living in a time that it's unprecedented. We've never seen the complexity of disease in our pets along with the rising rates of disease. We're seeing nearly 100% of our dogs getting cancer under the age of 2 even. When we think about dis-ease, because I don't think there's disease, I think there is dis-ease, the body not being in balance. And when we start including obesity, arthritis, gastrointestinal problems, vomiting, diarrhea, autoimmune disease, it's nearly 100% of the animals that we're seeing having some form of chronic disease. And the toolkits, the way that veterinary medicine has been taught in the past, and the tools that we have to treat it are just not effective. We're doing symptom suppression, but we're not fixing the problem. And now it's becoming more evident than ever the need for being able to understand the biology of the body. What is root cause medicine? What does it mean to find the underlying cause and fix that so the body can literally go back to healing? And it sounds airy-fairy, but it's really the only way to achieve our goal, because we want our pets to live a longer, healthier life. It's heartbreaking as pet parents to think that we could have done something different, or the fact that what we're doing is actually creating the problem. That's even worse. People, now that they're understanding how to do their own health, and they're looking at their pets and going, how do I apply it to them? And it's pretty interesting that in all of the regenerative medicine spaces that I'm involved with, some of the leading MDs, NDs, and functional medicine people, when I ask them, what are you feeding your pet? They look at me and they all of a sudden the light bulb comes on and they go, oh my goodness. They open the bag, they pour the kibble in the bowl, and it never occurred to them that food is thy medicine for their pets as for themselves. What we're doing now is creating an opportunity for people to start learning. It's not going to be taught in veterinary schools for a long time to come, if ever. So the need for having places people can go, pet owners and veterinarians and support staff, so that we can start making a real difference in these animals' lives. And it's not hard. That's the most interesting part to me. It's simply understanding how to make better choices.
Amazing insights there. And it's amazing to see the parallels between the human market and the awareness, because even just watching TV, you see all the new food commercials where people are putting their pets' food in the refrigerator and they're actually trying to feed their pets a healthy diet. There's no sentient being should ever eat the same thing every single day in processed foods. And it starts from there. But almost every one of our human vendors have some relationship to the veterinary market. And that's what kind of brought this to be. And we looked at regenerative medicine 4 or 5 years ago, but it might have been a little early. Now things have evolved so much like they did in the functional medicine space post-COVID. And it's only a natural evolution that we're looking at the veterinary market and our companion animals the same way as they are members of our family. But there's so many tools now that have been discovered from the human market, things like supplements and peptides and hormones. And really, today's modern veterinarian has a lot of tools and assets at their disposal that perhaps they didn't even think about, say, 5 years ago.
Absolutely. And not only is it affordable, but it's more effective than our standard toolkit. Because in the allopathic world, or our natural Western medicine world, our big guns were steroids and antibiotics. But we're not going to have antibiotics in under 10 more years. We have to find safer and more effective tools to be able to handle the complexity of disease that we have today. And veterinarians of any profession are the most compassionate, wonderful people. They want to do the best for their patients. They want to see their patients heal. But if you only know what you know and you don't know what you don't know, then how do you make a difference? Sadly, there's a lot of belief systems, I call it BS, belief systems, that we were taught to formulate this mindset that there's only one way of Western medicine. But once you leave that BS behind and your belief system changes to expand into far more effective and safer options, you can't unsee, you can't unhear, and you can't unlearn once you're exposed to the wonderful world of integrative medicine. I call it bioregulatory medicine. And it's ancient. This is not new. It's just the fact that we haven't been taught it in the past 60 to 100 years. It's been taught out of our system. So now it's our opportunity to expand our consciousness, expand our mind, expand our toolkits, and start looking at modalities that truly help the body to go back to functioning. And the number one thing that we start with, stop doing the things that are causing the problems. And these are all the concepts that we're going to be talking about in our upcoming masterclass. And I'm so excited to see people get that aha moment. And we're inviting pet parents because it's these pet guardians that are going to drive the industry. It's these pet guardians who are going to go to their veterinarian and say, I heard about, I learned about, and I love you as my vet and I want to stay with you, but I want you to start integrating some of these types of modalities for my pet, because this is what's making the real difference. I don't want a pill for the ill and a diet for the disease. I don't want symptom suppression anymore. I want my pet to get healthier and happier and live a longer life. And that's the end goal for all of us that love our animals.
Well, I think it's a wonderful collaboration because it takes people like you who actually have the passion and the experience, but also the industry connections. And I noticed by looking at just the volume of speaking that you do in industry that you're a true leader in this field, and giving people access to the protocols, to the mindset, to the thinking and the logic. I think they can all understand that there's an inflammatory epigenetic environment and it most likely would affect our pets. That's not a reach. But knowing exactly how to combine things like energy medicine or photobiomodulation or peptides, looking at detox and some of these other tools that are available to humans, how do we apply these in the animal world? And I think the industry is also benefiting tremendously from the results of this industry because animals don't have placebo and things either work or they don't. They can't have some of the complications that the humans markets have that really shadow whether the efficacy of these technologies is valid.
Absolutely. And I have hundreds of case presentations to show that these animals get better, and not in years. We're talking in weeks. And that doesn't mean that everybody's going to live forever. We all have an exit strategy. We're all leaving Earth school at some point. But what we should be doing while we're here in our Earth school is contributing in the highest and best way that we can possibly do. And it's all about, are we doing what we are supposed to be doing? Are we learning? Are we expanding? Are we experiencing? Are we contributing to the beautiful world that we're living in? And right now, I'd have to say most are not. We're destroying our world, we're destroying our own bodies, and we're certainly harming our pets' bodies. And not because we have the intention to do that, it's because we don't know better. We've been duped into this fast, cheap, and convenient world. It's at our own expense. So this is our opportunity to really take back our health. We have the power to heal. I love Robert Scott Bell, and his motto is, the power to heal is ours. And it is. But we just have to have the awakening to that. And then once we're awake, have some guidance as to how do we do that? And it's really, really simple. This is not a hard concept. It's not a hard reach to do it. It is simply understanding the principles of what makes health and then being able to implement them. And we literally hold people's hands and walk them through it one step at a time until it's a sustainable system.
Yeah, that's a wonderful analysis there. It's a blessing and a curse, right? So the epigenetic assault has accelerated our health conditions, but people have become more mindful. And I think the connectivity of medicine, the prior thinking that, we're only able to outsource our most precious resource to a stranger, a primary care physician or a veterinarian who knows very little about us other than what tests they do and what we tell them, to the point where people can have an active role, patient engagement for both the pet parents and themselves, to be able to understand the role of pathophysiology, to look at epigenetics, things like biomarkers and tests, and apply that logic to their other family members, which includes their pets. So I think it's really an epiphany. Maybe it was driven by COVID. Maybe people saw that the gateway to freedom was the immune system. But now we're learning about senolytics and detox and things that every biology professional should have some awareness of. And not that it's obvious, because a lot of it hasn't been really discussed. But now it's becoming more prevalent there are a lot of resources. We're trying to bridge the gap between the scientists and academic research, technology providers, industry, and the customer, in this case, the parents of the pets and the pets themselves, and give them the tools to understand this and to apply it. And what you do is so essential because you're living proof that it can be done and that it works. And with the right collaboration, people can understand this and employ this in their practice and make a difference in their patients' lives.
So exciting. I think it's the most exciting time to have incarnated into this planet because we have the opportunity to create change, to touch people in an entire world market. As a collective, we literally will drive the improvements, will drive the change because so many of us are going to be demanding that from the industry. And we're a society that operates on demand. So the more we as the consumer, and I include myself in that, the more we are the consumer demanding better healthcare, better food, better lifestyle, less toxins, the more it's going to happen. But we have to be the change. We have to be the change that we want to see. And we are. Our community is growing. Our soul families are coming together in a massively expanded way. And I love it. I love being a part of it. And I encourage everybody who is listening to this, join the family. Let's get this ball rolling and get this world where we want it to be.
Well, thank you very much. We love having you as well. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity for us to begin a relationship, to expand the awareness and the scientific horizons in this industry, but also to study and learn, because the pathway to excellent outcomes is through academic research, science, validation. And these tools are here for us. So Dr. Marlene Siegel, thank you so much for being with Boston BioLife. My name is Joseph Krieger. Please join us on Friday, June 14th from 12 to 5 to listen to this presentation series on functional medicine for the veterinary space, where we're going to cover the world of pathophysiology, energy medicine, photobiomodulation, peptides, detox, and other supplements and tools to allow the veterinary market to address their patients in the most scientifically sophisticated way. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you live on Friday, June 14th.